ESPN 690. Holy cow, it's been a long time since we've had this guy in.
This dude right here.
Jason Fitz, Spain and Fitz, ESPN Radio all across the country. We have good news for you, Jason Fitz. Not only are you back with us for a couple of minutes, but we just heard from Jesse Palmer, who's got a gig with the Food Network, and he's getting you on Chopped. Austin made it happen. We need a cut or at least front row seats.
Wait. Like Jesse and I won't say we're buddies, but, I'm literally now, while I'm talking to you, pulling up Jesse Palmer on my phone. So I'm texting him if this is really happening.
It did happen. We have it on live radio just about 10 minutes ago. Austin kind of pushed it now.
I did.
And I said, don't make any promises, but it felt like he was making a bit of a promise.
That is, you know what? If Jesse doesn't get me on Chopped, then he better watch out. Like, when he's on set, I might just have to sneak up there and give him a little shove.
Now, speaking of watching out, let's just say, let's address the elephant in the room, Jason, okay? We had your esteemed co-host, Sarah Spain, on about a month ago now, maybe 2 months ago, and she had a juicy bit of information to share about one of your biggest takes, I guess, in cinema. And the take is that you are not a Chris Farley fan. Now, keep in mind who you're talking to. I grew up in Iola, Wisconsin, just down the road from Marquette University. When people say who's from Marquette, they say Chris Farley first and Dwayne Wade second, okay? And fun fact, these days when kids get born in Wisconsin hospitals, each parent is gifted a box set, a DVD box set of Tommy Boy and the Black Sheep joint cut. And every single baby in Wisconsin gets that because we love our Chris Farley. This is your chance to make up for what you said or for what Sarah Spain said that you said where you don't like Chris Farley. Please explain yourself.
I mean, here's what we just learned. We just learned what's wrong with babies that are born in Wisconsin. I mean, we're talking about, look, one note over and over and over again, that is Chris Farley. Like, he's the 80s singer that sort of grates on your nerves, and after the second song, you're like, I'm done. Like, yes, we can all admit that Van Down by the River is funny, and Fat Guy in a Little Coat's okay. Like, we got a couple of moments, but let's not turn a couple of moments into some greatness here. It's a little like Adam Sandler, like a little same thing. Like, well, we got one note from that whole era. Like, it's just one note over and over and over again. Not even particularly a great note. You're better than this, all right? You deserve better humor than this.
What say you, Austin Lane? I don't deserve better humor than that. That was my college movie, Fitz, all right? So I watch it 500 times.
Hey, you know what? I'm not mad at Jason Fitz right now. I got nothing else to say. I'm just a little disappointed.
He stood up to you.
I'm just, you know what, he did, and you know what? I'm just a little disappointed that we're here now. We were on to such a great start and everything.
Well, just text Jesse Palmer back and tell him take him off.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
He's like, okay, I'll give you this. Chris Farley is definitely a former Saturday Night Live member. Like, I'll give you that, you know?
What is that even? He's a former Saturday Night Live member, and that's it. The end.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, well, look, one of my buddies now, years ago, I was walking off stage after I played what I thought was a particularly good show, and I walked up to him like, hey, man, what'd you think? You know, and I respect him, and he's like, yeah, dude, your playing's everything I heard it was. And that's all he had to say. So, you know, that's Jason, I'm just letting you know.
Jason, I'm going to tell you right now, man. You better hope to your lucky stars that the Wisconsin Badgers never become a top 5 team in college football. Because if College Game Day finds themselves there, and you find yourselves in the middle of Madison, Wisconsin, I'm going to put the word out. And you're going to say, hey, Austin, can you tell your people the kind of... And I'm going to be like, sorry, bro. Can't help you, man. Good luck with that. Just to let you know. It's not a threat, Jason. I'm just saying it might happen.
I'm just letting you know, like, I've had some nights I do not remember on that campus. And you know, I've got a lot of love for the overall. Like, I'm a guy that will go Badger, mushroom anytime. But I'm out. I'm out on Chris Farley. Completely out on Chris Farley.
I love that
I'm still thinking about this chop thing, by the way, guys. If I get on chop, it's getting added to the tattoo. Like, it is going on the arm.
Oh, wow.
Like, we're adding chop to the tattoo. Like, yeah. I mean, if I get on chop, that you put that on the arm. The tattoo. So, you know, might be adding to the ink because of you guys.
I'm not mad at that.
If that happens, we're in the lifetime membership friend club of Jason Fitz.
I'm not mad at
somehow
that.
or another.
And I'm going to get Chris Farley tattoo, so I can't wait.
Hey, it is the eve of the draft. How excited are you for Jacksonville?
Yeah, I think Jacksonville is in this rare opportunity to, and I'm not saying this because I'm with you guys and because I love you guys so much. I think Jacksonville is in the rare opportunity to reinvent a franchise overnight. And we have become so obsessed with every other storyline that we have forgotten the most important storyline of this draft for in many ways, which is a can't miss, in my mind, quarterback prospect is going to come out. And not only that, but the fact that they're picking at the top of the second round as well, like there is opportunity for this team to get staggeringly better overnight. And that is a rare, rare thing. Most of the time when you're picking first overall, you have a little bit of trepidation about can you maximize it? Can you make the most of it? This year, there are so many prospects that are going to free fall in the first round of the draft because of uncertainty around opt-outs. There are so many guys that would usually be gone by 15, 16 that are going to be sitting there at 28, 29. I can't tell you realistically a reason why Jacksonville doesn't come out with just Trevor Lawrence, but also another amazing starter out of that first pick of the second round. Like this weekend will reinvent the Jags.
Jason, my eyes will be on your Las Vegas Raiders, and they will be on it because at pick number 25, I want the Jaguars to take Trevon Merrick, okay? I'm a big safety proponent on a 3-4 defense. I think he's versatile. He could be great for the Jacksonville Jaguars. But I am a little bit worried that Las Vegas might get it in their, realm to take Merrick. Where do you stand on that? Do they attack maybe a linebacker more than a safety, or could Trevon Merrick sensibly go to the Raiders?
And by the way, you're totally right. I completely glossed over the 25th pick for the Jags. The Jags can come out of this thing with 3 starters. Here's the unfortunate thing for you. The Raiders have a habit of picking for need. It's what they do every year. They needed a left tackle when they picked Colton Miller. They needed a defensive end when they picked Cleve Furl. Like, they don't always pick the right guy, according to some people, but they pick for need. That's the way the team goes. So they have 2 glaring needs at this point. One would be obviously safety, and the other is a right tackle. And unfortunately for what you want, I believe that the right tackle situation is far deeper than safety. There are 2 safeties in this draft that can start. Richie Grant and Trayvon Merrick are the 2 guys that I think I look at and say, yeah, they're day one starters. So if you're the Raiders, you can't wait until your next pick at 48 to rely on getting one of those 2 guys. I think they'll both be gone by then. So I think they have to reach a little bit. I think Merrick is the 17th overall pick to the Raiders. And that means that if the Jags are looking in safety range, that Grant becomes somebody that they really need to consider. The question is, can they wait till 45 to pick him up? And that might be a little late to wait. They might get a little impatient, but man, it will give them opportunity.
Yeah, it's a need position for the Jags, but maybe less of a need than it is for the Raiders. You can get much better if you get Merrick or Grant if you're the Jags and upgrade. But they do have Jared Wilson, who's played the position. So it's not like they're vacant in the position. And they also have a lot of other needs. It's a 1-15 team. So that is going to be really interesting to watch, especially with the depth or lack thereof at safety and at defensive line, 2 positions the Jags could use to upgrade. Jason Fitz from Spain and Fitz with us right now on ESPN 690. Good to visit once again with Jason. Well, Teddy Bridgewater traded away today. I thought going into this draft months ago and before they traded for Sam Darnold, Carolina was the most interesting team. Then they went away for a little bit. They had Bridgewater and Darnold. Now they're back. I think they're interesting again. What did they do today that maybe pivoted the way they could attack the draft tomorrow?
Well, I think the first thing they did by trading Teddy Bridgewater is they told Sam Darnold, hey, this is yours. We're going to let you run this thing. And I think that's kind of important when you're talking about somebody that's come out of the sort of level of butt kicking he took in New York, right? So a vote of confidence is a good thing for a young quarterback that's trying to figure out this next chapter in his career. So I like that moment a lot. And, I think this is as much as anything about the Broncos saying, hey, we've got to figure something out. We don't think a quarterback's going to be available for us. If I'm Carolina, I am desperately looking for a way to trade down. I mean, there is at least the shot that, depending on how it goes, if the Falcons surprise us all and we see quarterbacks go in the top 4, then I'm presuming the Bengals will be smart and take Penei Sewell at 5, although they may take Jamar Chase, and then the Dolphins will take whichever one of those isn't taken. So the Panthers have a real shot at 8 at looking at somebody like a Kyle Pitts if he's still around, and they also have the shot at getting really, frankly, any defensive player they want on the entire board. So they have a lot of equity, but if Justin Fields starts to fall, somebody's going to overpay to move up. I think the Panthers are primed to actually pick up more draft equity through this process and build a better defense through the thick of the middle of the first round. So Carolina's in a very interesting situation. I think Sam Darnold is going to get a real opportunity to go out and prove he can be a quarterback in this league, and it's going to be frustrating for the Jets to watch Sam Darnold be, even if he's just mediocre, while they're trying to figure out how to make Zach Wilson good in New York, which I don't think is going to be an experiment that works out.
As we talk about, what Carolina's going to do, they're more of the exciting team compared to Denver, who now gets Teddy Bridgewater. But I think it begs the question from the Denver Broncos perspective. What is their plan going to be? Like, is Teddy Bridgewater going to be the guy now? Because I'm not sure how many chances John Elway can get to get this quarterback situation right. We actually broke it down last week a little bit of all the misses that John Elway's been associated with.
Now they put him in a different role
position.
A little bit with Pat being the GM.
But still, I mean, he's he has some say in it. Let's just say. What do you think is going to happen with the Broncos now? Do they still go after a quarterback in this draft, or is it Team Teddy and Drew Lock, and we'll see what happens from there?
Well, as a Raiders fan, I sure hope they go Team Teddy and Drew Lock. This is a fair. You guys are right. John Elway is out of lives at this point. I don't know how. No matter what a legend you were as a player, I don't know how the fan base and ownership continues to just allow him to get that one position so wrong. And I also don't understand why you made a move like this today when the draft is tomorrow for a 6th-round draft pick. Like, at least leave your board open to the possibility of Justin Fields coming in. But if they do that now, then they've ruined any value they would have for Drew Lock in this process. Like, I don't understand what they're trying to do at the quarterback position. I don't think they have a plan. I think in the draft, obviously they have needs on the offensive line. They can get a great one there. They have needs at corner. They can have their pick of any of the corners that are available. So, I mean, I could see them going that way. But if Justin Fields is falling, how can the Broncos not say yes to him as a quarterback? I just don't understand what their path is. It feels like they're doing the classic throw spaghetti against the wall to see what sticks.
We're going to let you run here in a moment, but I got to follow up real quick to something you said. You're not a believer in Zach Wilson then? You don't think he's the fit for the Jets and going to be one of these great quarterbacks?
No, we love Zach because he throws with interesting arm angles, and that's the Patrick Mahomes effect, right? But the reality of it is our stats and info group had some numbers on it recently. No quarterback made more out-of-pocket, out-of-schedule plays last year than Zach Wilson. You don't get to do that in the NFL. Like, you can't bank on running around until guys get open in the NFL, and there's so little proof of concept. And I talk to people around BYU. I've asked people to cover the team why the big jump in production, and the answer is he just really hunkered down and realized he needed to put more work into the craft before last season. And that also is not something that really hits me. Like, so you just decided that was where you wanted to go, and now we're going to value you over Justin Fields? Like, I think Zach Wilson he's not as hit or miss as Trey Lance, but he's close. And as much as I want the kid to succeed, you then factor in the fact that he's going into the pressure cooker in New York. Whew, that is not an enviable position.
Yeah, we said it. It's a boom or bust deal. The boom could be good, and billboards in Times Square. The bust could be time again for New York. Jason Fitz.
We didn't talk to him anymore, or is this kind of saying goodbye? That's about it for Jason.
It for a while.
Hey, let's get back. Like, guys, I'm here. I'm around. You want to get back on the books? Just let me know. Let's do it. Let's hang out.
The whole Chris
We'll
Farley
talk
thing,
about good. We'll talk about good SNL members sometime.
Hey, you know what, man? He only played one song, but damn, it was one of the best songs of all time. Almost like a Norman Greenbaum, "Spirit in the Sky." If you ever heard of that song before,
yeah,
it can be
just
done.
Just because you're fat doesn't mean you're funny. All right, just because you're fat doesn't mean you're funny.
It helps. What's up, Zach
help.
Galifianakis?
Maybe that's my problem. Not either. Jason Fitz, we love you, man. Good to talk to you again, and have fun with the draft.
Miss you guys. You guys are the best. Thanks.
All right, that's Jason.